Hello viewers and welcome back to MLB 13 Road to the Show with our closing pitcher Gus Farmer. Let's get started and see who our first opponent is. And we have the Braves. The Mets are losing by a run, so hopefully we can keep the game close, but I don't expect too much of a hard time just because Gus has pitched against the Braves, especially during spring training. Now, this point in the season is really not too exciting just because all we have to do is make sure we pitch well. We're not saving, so we don't have that excitement. We just pitch when we can and hope that we do a good job. As you can tell by our energy bar, the green bar in the bottom right now. Yeah, that shows how much energy we have, which is really affected by stamina, and we don't have the best stamina, not necessarily the worst though. But for a reliever, we're okay with stamina, but just the Mets pitch us so often that we really don't have very much time to recuperate. So usually our energy is going to be low in a lot of these games. So when your energy isn't at its peak, that usually almost always affects your movement on your pitches. It'll affect your velocity too, but it's going to affect your movement for your breaking balls most noticeably. And just because we have that curve, we want to make sure that we don't throw it in the middle of the plate. So a lot of times I don't necessarily feel comfortable throwing it when I don't have good enough energy. And lately we haven't really had the best energy. In this game, as you can tell, we still don't have a full bar, so you really need to be careful when you're a reliever and you're getting pitched a lot, just because you don't want to throw those breaking balls that normally would get you good strikeouts, but if you don't have that movement, then you're not going to get the strikeouts, and instead you're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit pretty hard. Now there, our curve went right into the dirt, just because we don't necessarily have that energy to be able to throw it correctly. The velocity on our fastball will also be affected as well, but that isn't the worst just because we do have pretty good velocity on our fastball. So really want to be careful with the cutter, but especially you want to be careful with the curve. And right now our second baseman makes a really good play, gets the lead runner, unable to get the double play, but that easily could have gone into right field. So have pretty good defense behind us most of the time, not too many errors. And we finish up the inning with a flyout, don't let the lead runner score, so really doing quite well. As you can tell by the box score, the Atlanta Braves do score in later innings, so the Mets don't get the win. But we did our job, so hopefully it goes notice and we can move into the setup man role and then eventually the closing pitcher role. Here we don't have anything too interesting to talk about, so we're just going to skip that game. We gave up a 2-out hit, but we had no problems and we got the hold, so that's really what's important. And here we have the Chicago Cubs again. Different situation, and I will show the game this time. So the Mets are losing by 1 run. So as you can see, it is the bottom of the 7th, so 1-run deficit definitely isn't insurmountable. We just need to do our best to make sure we give the Mets an opportunity to get back into it. Hopefully we continue doing what we've been doing so far this season. Only 1 earned run, and the first batter grounds out the first. First baseman takes it over himself, probably for the best because Gus has awful speed. We should work on that eventually, but definitely not too important to do at this point. And second out, nothing difficult at all. And then we get a strikeout to end the inning. And right now, as you can tell, Gus, he won the game, so the Mets were able to come back. And here, really interesting, not necessarily sure what player it is until our coach sits down next to us. So Gus, he doesn't necessarily stick out too much when it comes to the game showing you on the bench. It's actually pretty impressive that we have about a week and a half left in April and Gus already has 3 wins. So that just shows how many opportunities we really are being given. And then here in our pitch type training, we get some much needed points for our sweeping curve. So those are always very appreciated just because you don't have to waste your training points that you're getting when you're given the pitching opportunities. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Thought we'd end it on a good note, as you can tell on the right side of your screen. The Mets are pretty miraculously in first place. That might not last through May or even the rest of April, but we will see. So thank you viewers for watching and have a good day.